Hey guys, I'm back. I don't know what happened. Hopefully it don't happen again. So let's get back to our project. I am so sorry. Technology sometimes is not my friend. Just saying. Okay, so we're working on these little battery operated candles, and you can see where I wet tore that edge to make it look better or hide it more, I guess. Let me try and bring you guys up on my phone so I can see these comments. Oh gosh, guys, technology is great, except for when it's not. Yeah. So, okay. So now let's get going here. So I did, like I said, we've decoupaged this candle, and now we gotta trim off this excess on the bottom first. So I'll do that real quick. And again, I apologize. I don't know what happened. I lost everything. My phone went dead. The laptop went out, and yeah, it wasn't good. So hopefully some of you guys came back. If not, I hope you catch it on the replay again. I so apologize. Okay, so here's this is how this candle looks so far. I think it's adorable. But now we got to decoupage that inside. And to do that, how I do it is I need to trim off some of this paper because I'm going to fold it in. I'm going to do strips and fold it in is how I'm going to do it. So and see how I'm going to fold this in like this. But to do that, we want strips. But to do my strips, I do want to use the brush, my wet brush, because I want bigger swaths, I guess you can say. So and I'm just going to do that wet tear and just tear it like that into strips. And then we'll fold it inside. Oh, technical difficulties, you guys. It's got me rattled. That's all I can say is it has me rattled. So we'll just tear these strips, and we're going to just fold them in. And I did cut my paper a little short, but it's not going to matter. You'll see what I mean once I show you the inside, because we can fill in with pieces and all that. We'll get all of these stuck down in there. And then see how I tuck them inside that candle like that? And then wherever I can see white, although I don't know if it will be a big deal, we can always touch up if we want. So now we'll pull these all back out and put our medium inside. So yeah. I'm just going to go all the way around. If you guys were with me just a little bit ago and I lost my connection, if you came back, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like I said, technology is great, except for when it's not. It was just the most bizarre thing. Way to go, Barbara. I'm glad. See, I'm glad I gave you time to pull out your candles. I just looked at my laptop and I had a black screen and I was like, am I still here? And then everything went black, and I'm like, nope, I'm not here anymore, evidently. So thank you for coming back. I truly appreciate it. But see how I just kind of fold those edges? I'm just kind of smoothing them out a little bit with my brush. Just folded those edges in there, down inside the candle like that. Well, hi, Jody. Thanks for joining me, dear. And now some of this paper that I cut off, we are going to wet cut because I want to just fill in some spaces inside there. And I don't think it really matters, except for I got a pine cone right there. So give me this. We're just going to put a little medium there. Turn it around like that. Stick it in there. And I will fill in around that wick a little butter, but for tonight, and just doing wet cut if you guys are going to do this. But for tonight, I'm going to keep moving because we lost some time when I lost my connection. But as you can see, here's this little candle. I just think it's adorable. Thank you, Jody. But so then what I did is on the same paper, there was this little label. And I love when it has script or numbers. And I want to decoupage that on the front of this. And so I think I'm going to kind of put it like right there. But to do that, I want this to stand out. So I've got to paint the back of this to make it pop on that paper. So I'm just going to lay my paper down and just put some white paint on there. Now this paint I'm using is Farmhouse, so it's an all-in-one. If I was using a chalk paint, I would mix in some of my top coat with it. But because this is an all-in-one paint, I don't. And I'm just going to lightly, I hope you can see what I'm doing. Not going to go all the way out to the edge because I don't want my paint to smush out or ooze out or whatever you want to call it when I stick it down. So it's just going to be a light coat of white, not all the way to the edge. You don't want any wrinkles on the paper though. So there is that. I'm just going to give this just a quick dry, and I don't want it wet. I don't care if it's a little wet. And now I'm going to take my medium and just going to brush it right over this label. I could put it right on the candle, but I want to do something else before I seal this. And so now, by using this plastic, I can kind of stand up and I can kind of see, and I kind of want it to go like maybe right there. So I'm going to lay it down, make sure it's straight, and then I can peel this plastic off. And then see? Oh, thanks, Jody. Now see how that paper popped? I didn't want it to blend into my background. So that is why I painted that white. And normally I could have just laid my medium down and stuck it down, but I want this paper to stay porous just for a little bit longer. And I'm going to show you why, because I want to grunge it up. And to grunge this candle up, I'm going to the old standby. Got some paper sticking up right there. Make sure it's stuck down. My old standby, those walnut ice crystals that I've used before. And so I'm I have it in this little spray bottle. And sometimes if you mix it in these little spray bottles, because I store it in here, it will get clogged. But all you got to do is take this off because it unscrews like this and just run it underwater and keep pumping this until it unclogs. You know, just kind of like dissolves those ice crystals. It's not going to ruin your sprayer. But I'm going to spray a little bit over here to see if it's going to work. And it does. And so I'm just going to hold this back at a distance. Whoop. Help if I was aiming at the right thing, right? And I'm just lightly spraying it. Just kind of grunging up my paper a little bit. And if you get it like that, you don't want it, just dab it off before it sets. And see how that kind of grunges that paper up a little bit? Because I love grunge. But I don't want to overdo it. And the top of it's still wet. But that's how that little candle looks. And I will turn it on when I get these other ones done because I got to shut the light off because I want you to be able to see it. We're going to set this off to the side and let that dry. Now this one is a little different one. It's got the flicker flame on it. And as you see how this is cut out right here. So that makes that the front of the candle. And so to do that one, I'm going to decoupage just a little bit different. Yes, Jody, I love grunge. And so I got to figure out where I want. And I'm going to use this paper. And honestly, I think it's from the Junk Journal blocks because I just wanted this typography as my background on this candle. I don't think it's going to really matter, except for on the front, I want most of this writing. So I'm just going to lay this kind of where I want it. Make sure I have enough in the back here. I don't want to come all the way down. I want this line to hit on the bottom here. Kind of like that. So I'm just going to fold this back this way and just get this paper stuck down somewhere. I don't have to be too particular now that I have the front in the front, if I'm making sense. I just want to get that anchor row down before my paper shifts or anything so that I know. And let me make sure I'm in the front. This is going to come around just like that. I think this will work. So and we'll just smooth it out as we go. Stick that, make sure that's getting stuck down there. Okay. I love the way this, excuse me, paper looks aged. That will help with my grunge factor. And I'm just working my way around the candle here. But before I get too far, I don't want this edge here to be straight again. But actually, I think I'm going to trim this one first, because I want as much of this typography on here that I can get. So we're going to trim this one right along this edge. Let's see, my paper got wet. It's wet from the medium. So let's try and do it this way here. So I want to come right down that edge, right where the words kind of stop. That little tear is not going to bother me because once I decoupage that down, it will be fine. See how that paper tore? You won't even notice it once we get this all stuck down. I promise. But I don't want wrinkles. We'll lay that right back in place. And nobody will know. And now I don't want this much of a, oops, be careful, Sherry. I do not want this much of a overlap. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this off. Oh, I keep wanting to stick that in my medium. I'm using to having to dip a brush instead of these water pens. I got to get used to them. There. So then we'll lay this down. Let you come over. Just kind of stick you down like that. So this is the base of this candle. Let me dry this seam real quick. These candles with the flicker flames are probably my favorite to use this way. And I'm thinking these would be really cute in the Halloween masterboard. If you decorate for Halloween, I think they would be really cute. This paper's still a little wet, so I've got to be careful because otherwise I'm going to be tearing it. Because I'm not letting it dry. There. Stick you down. So this is the base of this one. I love that. Trying to find the front of it. I love the paper with writing on it. And again, I want to trim this off, but I don't want to make the mistake I did on that other one and cut it short. So we're going to probably have this be long. That's my dog. Heard a noise. Sorry. So there's that. Thank you, Jody. And again, we are going to use the brush method and make strips. And just tear down to the top of the candle. I usually stay a little bit away from the edge. So that it can just lay over nice and neat. And this is a skinnier candle, so I'm making smaller strips. So, and I just work my way around until I have the whole thing in strips. Okay. And for some reason, I like the project. I hope you do, Jody, and post it, please. I like to have the candle facing me for some reason. Don't ask me why. But then when I'm doing it around this little flame, you don't want to hit that flame. So I kind of lay it in there, and I do a couple of them. I'm going to do a couple of them at a time, and then we'll put the medium down. The only thing you got to be careful is you don't block that flame, because it's made to move and flicker like this. And so you don't want to, you just don't want to block that. But other than that, there's really not a right or wrong reason or way to do it, I guess I should say. But we are going to lay these down. And it doesn't matter to me how much I overlap on the inside here, because it still looks cool. So I'm just going to put some medium down in here, so when I lay these strips, they're going to catch on something. But now this one is going to hit that flame. So I just kind of lay it in there. And just give it a... And it's still just a smidgen long. So I'll just tear a little more off. And then again, just tear it. But otherwise, I like that it decoupages. I mean, you just do it like you would decoupage anything else. It's just in, I guess, smaller pieces, you could say. And that paper slid down. There we go. Okay. See how it's coming together on the inside? And then I always check my edge here so that I have a nice crisp curve, I guess you can say. Just keep working your way around. And yes, that flame is delicate, but it's not so delicate that you cannot, like, move it around a little bit. I just wouldn't, I guess, manhandle it too much. But they're pretty resilient. They're just on a little wire underneath there. So if you're fairly careful, by careful, I'm not, like I said, just a little bit careful. You don't really have to worry a whole lot about them. You just don't want to be twisting them or anything. Then you'd probably break it. But I got some little bitty open areas. And I like that you can just piece your paper in there. And you can't even tell. You can't even see it. Let's see here. I got a spot right here. And I see one little spot right there on the edge where the paper tore. Right there. And I can go right over the edge like that. And you don't even see it. And then see, that's the base coat of that. And then again, on this one, I'm going to push this stuff out of our way. I wanted to add, I fussy cut this bird out of the Fall Botanical master board. This bird right here, I fussy cut him out. And I thought he would be so cute. Yes, it does. It's such an easy way, Jody, to spruce up these plain white candles. I mean, but here's the front of it, and I thought he would be really cute. Just sitting on here and wrapping them around like that. But I probably will also add something else on here. I think some transfers would be cute. I just haven't decided yet. So again, I'm going to lay this bird down. And I laid him face down because I do not want him to bleed through. So we're just going to do a light coat of paint, white paint on him. And again, I'm not going all the way out to his edges. If I do, it's not with a full brush. So I don't have to worry about anything oozing out when I push them on my paper. It's just a real light coat around the edges. That brush is starting to dry. I'm just going to give them a quick dry. Just enough to where I can put my medium on there. And now I'm just going to put my decoupage medium on here so I can stick them on my candle. I will tell you though, if you're worried about your paint oozing out, seal this first, because then you can wipe it off. But because I want to grunge these up with that spray, I'm not doing that. But if you're worried about it, by all means, seal your candle first. If you seal this paper first, if anything oozes out, you'll be able to wipe up like with a wet wipe as long as you get it quick. That's one of the pluses of sealing it. But I want my paper to stay porous for a little bit, which is why I didn't. But look at that. I think that looks so cute, and I love the way his tail wraps around. I've got to remember to put a little top coat on my chalk paint for that. Yes, if you use chalk paint, I mix in my top coat first. But my paint is an all-in-one that I'm using tonight, so I don't have to. But otherwise, if I use a chalk paint like my DIY paint, I do. I mix in my medium with it. And again, I'm going to spritz. Oh, hang on there. I got water. We don't want to spritz this with water. We want our walnut ice crystals. I'm going to spritz them. Get them all, get a little grungy. There he is. He's adorable. Let's look at this other one. It's now that it's dry, and see how it grunged up pretty cool. So there is that. And I'm going to do this one too. I won't do it tonight because I'm running out of time because I went and lost my connection. But I will show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this paper on him. And then I have an owl that I fussy cut out that I'll be using. And then I am going to use a transfer on this one. And I think I'm going to add a transfer on him too. I think some eucalyptus or something coming up behind him, some sprigs of him would be cute. I will get a good picture of the finished project when I get done. But real quick, I'm going to shut off the lights up above me so that you can maybe see them lit up. So hang on here. I'll make the room a little darker. But see how this lights up? It's probably still not showing up very good on here. Those bulbs don't light up as nice as these flicker ones. I don't know why. This is just a little damp. Let me pick it up. But see how that flickers? It will flicker when I... Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Barbara. I just think this is a cool way, you guys, to really juice up these candles. Take these plain white battery-operated candles and make them really functional and that you can use in your home. And like I said, I think the Halloween masterboard paper would be really cute with these too. So that's my live. Again, so sorry I lost you guys, but thank you guys, the ones that came back. Hopefully you can watch it on replay. Let's see, Nancy, I'm looking at questions. Let me see. Let's see. I got some candles that are light aqua blue. I think I'll change them from nice to amazing. Yes. Oh, you're welcome, Nancy. And you can decoupage over that aqua blue, but just know the blue will show through. Otherwise, I had some candles here that were like orange, and I just painted them white. And you can use any paint to paint them white. You can use the acrylics, you know, the all-in-one, chalk. It doesn't matter. Just paint them white if you want your paper to pop. Or try it over the blue. The blue might be kind of pretty showing through depending on what paper you use. I think it would look really cool. So please share pictures. I would so love that. I love the musical notes too. Thank you, Jolene. I'm so glad you came back. So you're welcome, Barbara. Thank you guys all for joining me. I will post pictures once I get this done. It looked like today has been one heck of a day, guys. I'm lucky I remembered to get dressed, actually. Mine are wax flickering. Yes, these are wax candles too. These are a wax candle too. And so the way I got mine to these ones aren't so bad. The orange ones were wax, I should say. And the way I got them to stick a little bit better, the paint, Nancy, was I primed them. So if you prime them, you can still paint them white. You'll be fine. So anyway, everybody have a great night. Thanks for joining me again. Sorry for technical difficulties, but that stuff happens. I so appreciate you guys joining me. All take care. Much love. Bye.